Hello, good morning from rainy Reykjavík at the moment. My name is Sigurlaug Anna Jóhannsdóttir. If you can read Icelandic, then that's the pronunciation of my name. I am a democracy advisor at the Human Rights and Democracy Office at the City of Reykjavík. And I'm very happy to be here with you this morning and tell you about our democracy processes. Well, how we do democracy in the city of Reykjavík is what I'm going to be talking to you about, and how people can participate in decision-making processes. So to jump right in, we have three main gateways for citizens' participations, but then you see the plus sign on the top there. So these are not the only ways people can participate. I will be mostly talking to you about the project My District, which is the participatory budgeting project, and it is the main gateway for people to participate. But then we have 9 residence councils in 10 districts of Reykjavík. We have 9 councils which have open meetings every month in each district, where all interested are welcome, and it operates as a point of contact between the city government and its residents. There are 3 elected members from the city council in each of the residence council, 1 randomly selected member from the district, 1 from the parents association, and 1 from the neighborhood association within the district. So it constitutes of 6 members, and it is a very active way for people to participate. So they can make suggestions to the city council, and that's how the chain works. Fixit is a platform relatively new, and it is more of a service tool than it is a democracy tool, and where people can log in and suggest what needs to be done in the neighborhood, if there's a hole in the road and or a light bulb that's missing or things like that. But the democracy tool is My District, and I will be telling you mostly about that in my presentation. The plus sign is a that means that democracy is all around. Some of it is legally binding, and we have user committees such as youth councils in schools and in districts. We have student associations, parents associations, social centers for the elderly. Then there are the residence councils, and of course a part of democracy is open and transparent government. We have live streaming from city councils meeting and access to documentation, to documents, and access to elected representatives. So there is democracy is of course all around, but we focus on our platforms, and it should all work together. So which is part of the program where we do the democracy policy we are forming at the moment, and we have a steering committee which is has the project of making the democracy policy. So our main focus is on 4 factors: the dedication, which is a promise to the people that the policy is reliable, that the processes work, and that they will be honored by the politics and administration of Reykjavík. Inclusion is of course important, because democracy is not complete unless all are able to participate freely. And then we plan on making an action plan, which is also important because we need to explain what the goals are and explain how the goals will be achieved. And finally, we will define how the policy will be implemented, how we will evaluate if the policy is successful. And during the policy making process, we involve a lot of stakeholders with different methods. We hold open meetings, we have focus group with randomly selected people, and an open consultation process online where all can put in their ideas on democracy in Reykjavík. So let's turn to my district, which is our biggest participatory democracy project and the only PB project we have in Reykjavík. There are others in other municipalities which came after, but so we're kind of pioneering. But we launched in 2011, and here you have some pictures from the beginning of the project. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we do it, how it really works. How did it all begin? How does it work? The role of Reykjavík City and challenges and lessons. So it started in 2009, where the platform for the citizens appear, and the Citizens Foundation is founded, which is a non-governmental organization. They launched a platform called Better Reykjavík, where we host the MICE district. And then in 2010, we had the municipal elections, where the comedian became mayor. And they had a special campaign where they promised never to do anything they promised. So one of the things that they actually did was my district, and they launched this project that is still running, and I think it's why it's actually what it is because the politics were dedicated and supportive of the project, and the mandate came from above. So how does it work? It is a collaborative project between the city and the city administration and the citizen. It's prioritizing and distributing funds for new smaller scale projects in the 10 districts of Reykjavík. There you can see how the districts divide between the city. Since 2012, we have executed 696 projects, and 91 more projects will be executed this summer. We have a new timeline where we will start in October this year collecting ideas. November to January, we have the administrative reviewing and selecting of valid ideas for voting. For ideas to become valid, they have to be within the budget of the district. They have to be implementable on city land. They have to comply with the planning of the district and be according to rules and regulations. So, and then after this reviewing and selecting process, we have pre-designing and collaboratory work from February to March. And then we start the voting process in April, we have this big campaign going on from April to May to increase the turnout. And in May, we plan on voting. So this is a new timeline I will tell you about a little bit later. From September to October, we have the collaboration with authors of the ideas and stakeholders in the neighborhoods. We involve the residence councils. And the year after, we have a bidding, implementing, and executing process, which is this is the 2-year timeline, and it gives us a lot of chance to collaborate with the neighborhood, which is essential because we have had the problems of people not being happy when the when they start executing, when they start digging, then people realize what's happening, and then there are some questions. And if we do not have the time to explain to the stakeholders, we land in trouble. So we want to avoid that. So that's one of our lessons I will tell you a bit about later. Here are some pictures, new pictures of our project, which have been implemented. So some of our campaign material. The role of Reykjavík. Here we have the picture of the platform again. We used 3.6 million euros, which divide between the 10 districts of Reykjavík. To ensure a minimum amount for the smallest districts, 1/4 of the funding is divided equally among all districts, and the rest is divided in direct proportion to the number of residents in each district. 2019, we completed our 8th execution of the project. Idea generation in April with 39,000 visitors, 37% of the voting population, and total we had 1,054 ideas, which is a record number of ideas. Valid ideas were 406, and on the ballot we had 236 ideas. Voting was last November with 12.55% turnout and 91 new ideas elected. I want to show you the platform we use, which is a where we collect the ideas. We have a debate system, up and down voting, and the possibility to video and audio record the ideas. And we have some ways to argue for and against ideas. So it's more accessible than it was. So here you have you can put a star or a heart, and there you can see that the budget for the project is there, and when you choose, you have a limited amount of money to spend. So this is how it looks like. And this is a graph of our voting participation. It's growing. It started in a little bit over 8% participation. It declined in the years after, and then it's steadily growing again. And we lowered the voting age from 16 to 15, but still managed to grow, so it's still growing. And last year we had the 12.55%, which is a record number. So, but we would of course like it to be a lot more. Challenges and lessons. The project is really labor intensive. It is never fully developed. We learn as we go along, and we keep on improving the project. It's a learning experience for everyone. It is a for the administration, for the politics, for the people, and then we have the same problem in our project as we have in turnout in elections. The usual suspects are voting and participating. It's this age groups between 30 and 50, but the dialogue and the cooperation is the most important part. The biggest challenge is, as I told you before, that we have the not in my backyard syndrome here, as in many other cases. When we start executing the projects, they want the neighbors aren't always happy with what is supposed to happen in their neighborhood, and it sometimes becomes a problem. So what we're doing now is trying to collaborate more and avoid these conflicts. And then the turnout, as I told you, we are always looking to increase the turnout, and I saw some good ideas from Liv, so maybe we can learn from you guys. What we feel that the greatest value is the discussion, where the ideas are reviewed within the administration. The administration, when we get the ideas and the explanation and the conversations with the people, they actually listen and learn things that they might otherwise not have. So we have both administration and politics, and we get a kind of feel for the districts, how the people feel and what they need. So that's kind of the real value in the project. And of course, we make we execute some great ideas, and it makes the neighborhoods better. Changes for 2020, we changed the timeline, as I told you. We had it every year, and now we do it every other year. When the timeline is every year, it overlaps in, and we start idea collecting before we complete executing last year's ideas. And well, it creates confusion, and people feel like they voted on something last year and it hasn't been implemented yet, so they feel kind of betrayed, and they don't have the capacity to realize that it will be implemented the year after. So it makes it kind of confusing. But we have made the changes to the timeline, and we are collaborating more with the districts. So we are very positive on the future, and we are still going strong. So that concludes my presentation.